So, optimizing men's health and hormones. First, I must warn you guys, this is the warning that I give everybody. Proceed with caution if you have little ones in the room. I am not a doctor, but I play one on social media. However, there are pervasive, crude, and sexual content things that may be popping up. And that is an innuendo for later. Right now, I'm going to be going over our present day stats for our health as a society. And the CDC is really where the information for our world obesity comes from. So if you look at this chart right here, that shows what the obesity rates are in each state. And you'll notice this is in the 90s. Some of you may have been born in the 90s. I was born 80s baby, 1981. So you'll see that a lot of these states are very blue, which is a very low level of obesity. However, predicted for our future, this is what the chart looks like. And you can see that that's a little concerning, especially since there's really no blue left. I mean, Colorado, yeah, it's got some really healthy people and everything, but I believe that come 2030, which is not that far away, we have some things that we have to address. How does America, with the most access to the most technology, the most knowledge regarding fitness, nutrition, and everything, have the highest rates of obesity? We are in the lead right now. Australia and England are not far behind us, but we are in the lead. So why are we like this, and what has happened? So as I mentioned, I grew up in the 80s. A lot of you guys may remember what this thing looks like. In case you don't know, this is a TV. We actually had to stand up and go change the channel. We actually had to walk over to it, maybe bang on the box, put some tinfoil on the antennas, and we had like 13 channels that we were dealing with. It wasn't like today where you have numerous applications, different things that you can choose from. No, we had to physically get up and change the channel, which is unheard of these days. So similar to these are car keys. Yes, plural, because we have to now just click one button, maybe, or even walk up to the car and the car unlocks. But back in the day, you had to go around the car and actually unlock the other door. This next contraption is an antique that is in many museums probably by now. So some of you may recall there was a video going around on the internet of teenagers being asked to dial a number on this rotary phone, and they could not figure it out for about 10 minutes. It was actually really funny. But to physically have to dial each number requires a lot of effort, as does getting in the car and having to roll down the window manually. So having to go around on the other side, not being able to press a button and have all the windows lower in your car is very traumatic. But nowadays, all you have to do is really press a button. That's it. If you're lucky to have a car that has its own computer, you basically talk to it and it does whatever you want it to. Why am I talking about all of this? Why do you guys care about how we had to do things in the 80s and the 90s? Because it basically shows that there is no effort at all put into everyday activities like there were in the 90s and the 80s. So we don't have to really do much. We can just lay on our couch. We can order things from the internet. We don't have the physical demand that we used to. We don't have to get up and change the channel every time we want to do something. So back in the day, we didn't have those stimulating technologies that we do now. We've got things like iPads and phones and smartphones and continuous screens. We cannot get away from work. We cannot stop the addiction of chronic dopamine hits in our brain because we might get an email, we might get a notification. We have do not disturb mode. How does that work for us? These are all modern stressors that we did not have to deal with before, and yet our health is still deteriorating even though we've become more evolved. It's weird, right? We also have more work than ever. We are on call. Before, you used to log off, go home, you had no access to your work email until you got into the office the next day and you log onto the computer. Now, people can call you whenever they want, especially if they're in another country and you have to be up at a certain time. Hello? Do we not think that that's an added stressor? Absolutely. So when you add together stress from a screen, stress from work, stress from children, on top of being on all day long, this is going to add and create this load of suppression of happiness, suppression of testosterone levels, suppression of our ability to actually go out and do activities. We can literally lay on the couch and order everything. Uber Eats, Amazon. You can order a wife. You can order a husband if you're into that. You can order a dog. You can order anything you want. You don't have to move. You can lie on the couch. You can not shave. You can wear a diaper. You can do whatever you want, and it will all come to you. So we are lazier than ever. And this is why our health is deteriorating. This is why men's testosterone levels are dropping, because we do not have to be as active as we once did. Going outside to play is not something our kids do like we did when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s. They literally just sit at home, play video games, look on their screen, TikTok, do all of that stuff all day long. And that is exactly the reason why we are deteriorating as a society from a health, fitness, muscle, testosterone standpoint.